know, like a dog's barking and plates flying over. Anyway, so I don't know how good the video will be, but so what I got is a Mercury. So this is an 850, 85 horsepower. It's got the distributor. It's a Thunderbolt series. So Thunderbolt 850. And I got a bunch of parts sitting over here because I got a parts motor. So anyway, yeah, it's an 850. So did a compression test, and I mean, it's a good power head. On one of them, it's even at like 171 pounds of compression. I have to go get my numbers, but it was kind of odd. It was like 136 or something, 140, 170, and then it was like 136. So I don't know, something like that. But it was a no spark situation, and we think it's a distributor. Also think it's a switch box or the rectifier. So I tore it apart, and one of the things like I needed to do was the carbs they had on there. Somebody used like sealer, so I didn't trust those carbs. The bottom carb didn't look bad, it was the top one. Anyway, we got a parts motor that so the other thing about this motor that I don't even know where to go with this. I don't even know really where to start because I was tore into it. I really didn't film it. I just went ahead but when I first checked this, I didn't have any voltages on the switch box going to the distributor. So I suspected that the distributor was bad. And I still haven't really completely confirmed that. Although, when I measure it by ohm and resistance, which I could do real quick and show you, but I just did a video like on the Merc 500, and but these are a little different. So, like from here to ground, you'll have continuity, and then I think it's from here to ground we got continuity, and we got, if I remember right, it's about 1K resistance, and nothing on the white wire. So I don't know. This is my issue. Is this white wire? I think is the trigger wire. I think once the voltage goes through these guys, it sends it out this wire to the switch box, and that's what tells it to fire. So for right now, until I confirm that this is actually working, I gotta confirm that I got a switch box that's good. So I got two switch boxes. I separated the old one from the new one. I was told I bought a parts motor from a buddy of mine, and so he said it was a running engine. I tested our coil. The coil was bad. I have it inside. This one is a good coil. And then, so now I know my coil's working. So if I can get, the switch box should fire. If it does, then this will send the high impedance signal. I guess it's high impedance, and where it steps this up, but it should hit the distributor over here, and you have a rotor and a cap. So lots of things in the line, you know, your trigger, your switch box, power pack, it's over there, power pack, switch box, coil, and then your distributor rotor and to your spark plugs, or as Cody Bass calls them, candles. So they kind of are. The other problem that I don't know is somebody's definitely replaced this. This is our stator, and it's a CDI. You know, I'm not sure what to say about this. You know, because I don't know what it is. I may have to look up. It does have a part number, 1744793, and I want to look this up and find out what stator they put on here, because you know there's different amperages. The other thing I found, here's an oil line that's off, so we'll have to pull this, and because it's not long enough, probably over time it shrank. But it's got to go down there, and it's just not long enough. So it doesn't appear to be cut off or anything, it just shrunk. So maybe we could pull it back some, I don't know. But it's not going to be long enough. So anyway, this got to get replaced. So I cleaned the carbs, and I put them in there for about 3 hours in my ultrasonic, and actually let them sit and soak for a while. I feel pretty confident about that, although I didn't take out some of the jets because they weren't coming out. It's old, you know, I would have damaged them getting out. I cleaned them. I did clean the needle seat, and I checked that, and it's in really good, you know, so I'm going to replace the gaskets. I did have some gaskets for it. I got the line right here, so I just got to finish putting this up in here. But I think for this guy, what I'm going to do is maybe put a filter on it. See how it wants to lay. You know, this is long enough to reach here. If I need to, I can just do this, you know. But it's got a kink, so I want to put a filter here, which I have somewhere. But before we get to all that, I gotta make sure I got spark. Which means, and these are not fun, these are not easy to work on. So this is your throttle. Now, you could take this off, or I could get the line, like if I was taking the distributor off, but leave it on, because this is really a pain to get off and on. So there's a bolt back behind here, and then this comes off. You gotta kind of keep tension on that bolt, and then if you drop the bolt, then you gotta go digging for it. Like here's a bolt sitting right here. So something. I can get it. So you don't want to drop the bolts, man. It's a pain. So that was in there. So what do? Okay, well, you know, I dropped to get the carbs out. I did drop the distributor. I checked it out, brought it back, put it on. So I'm just finishing putting the distributor back together. So I got a ground wire here I need to put on. There's 3 bolts to take it out. When you take the flywheel off with the standard Mercury flywheel puller, it'll come off pretty good. We'll just need to put it back on, and these are not fun to get started. you gotta kind of pull this up a little bit in order to get it started on the flywheel. So after I figure out what this is, I'm gonna put my flywheel on. But that drops in the distributor, and then there's 4 bolts in the hole that the carburetor's on. And what I did was, we're 7/16. I just used 1/4 inch. These are the 4 bolts. I just used a 1/4 inch, 7/16. And then I have this elbow. That'll get in there. Some of them, there's a couple of them you can do it just straight on. But to get it out, what you got to do is you have to take the top bolt, the top of these carburetors. I should probably go get them, but so the top of these carburetors, if you look, that's a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch back here, so they're pretty clean. But that one, you got down here, you got this one, and then you got the other 1/4 inch. So the top one you can get with them, if you got like one of these here, I just use this. It's 1/4 inch on the one end and 5/16 on the other. Or you could just use your 1/4 inch driver. But you get those on top. But then down here, what I did was I have a little, you can either use a little box wrench, but I've got one of these. And, that works pretty good because you get in there real good. But that's for that one. So there's a few things. Anyway, that gets the carbs off. You will have to take off, when you break down your carbs, you gotta make sure you put this tube back. And then this is really tight in here. It had I put hose clamps. I'm a fan of hose clamps. But you might drop the starter. So on this guy, the starter, you got these 2 1/2 inch bolts, and then down here you got these 2 1/2 inch bolts, and then this starter will drop. And on the coil, you got these 3 bolts right here, and you'll have to take off. Now I'm going to change this wire out to a green wire. This should be a green wire. So somebody just put that in there. Oh gosh, what else? I guess the first thing I'll do is finish up my job over here and get the distributor put back the way it's supposed to be. So don't take this off, and then just feed your wires one at a time through here. Like that one is number 1. And then on these 850s, they had a little keeper thing that went here. I do have one back here. I'm not gonna mess with that until I know I got fire. So I'll get my I'll get my spark checker and have put it on there. But first I gotta put this all back together. The front plate's pretty easy. It's like 4 bolts. So maybe I'll get back to you on that setup. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll get back to you guys up on on that here in a minute. I get ready to put the front plate back on. I gotta look up this stator.
Are you